On August 4th, 1945, the Soviet Union gave the United States ambassador a gift. It was a beautiful, hand-carved wooden plaque of the Great Seal of the United States, a gesture of friendship between war allies. It hung in the ambassador's study in Moscow for 7 years. It sat through top-secret meetings, private phone calls, and the planning of the Truman Doctrine. But inside the wood, beneath the beak of the eagle, sat a secret so advanced that when the Americans finally found it, they didn't even understand how it worked. It had no batteries. It had no wires. It didn't even have a power switch. Today, we go inside the engineering of the thing, the bug that changed espionage forever. It started with a group of smiling children. The young pioneers, the Soviet version of the Scouts, presented the carving to Ambassador Averell Harriman. It was a masterpiece of woodwork. Harriman, touched by the gesture, hung it directly behind his desk at Spaso House. For nearly a decade, every word spoken by the most powerful Americans in Russia was transmitted directly to a Soviet van parked just outside. But how? The device was the brainchild of Leon Theremin. You might know him as the inventor of the theremin, that eerie electronic instrument played without touching it. The Soviets called his new invention Zlatust, the golden mouth. In the world of physics, it's known as an endovibrator. To the CIA, it was simply the thing. Let's look at the specs. The thing was a masterclass in minimalism. The antenna, a 9-inch long monopole rod. It was designed to catch radio waves at 330 megahertz. The cavity, a tiny silver-plated copper can. Think of it like a high-tech echo chamber. The secret weapon, a membrane only 75 micrometers thick, as thin as a human hair. The Americans were oblivious until 1951. A British radio operator was scanning Soviet Air Force channels when he suddenly heard a familiar voice. It was the British air attaché, but he was speaking in a room miles away. The Americans scrambled. They sent in the sweep, counter-surveillance experts John Ford and Joseph Bezjan. They used a signal generator to create audio feedback, that howl you hear when a microphone gets too close to a speaker. As they moved toward the Great Seal, the room began to scream. Bezjan pried the wooden eagle open. There, nestled in a hollowed-out space under the eagle's beak, was a small, metallic can with a wire. The most successful bug in history had been caught. The discovery stayed secret for years. The U.S. didn't want the Soviets to know they'd found it. But in 1960, everything changed. After the Soviets shot down a U-2 spy plane, the U.S. was accused of illegal espionage. At the UN Security Council, Ambassador Henry Cabot Lodge Jr. didn't just give a speech. He brought a prop. He showed the world the golden mouth. He proved that while the U.S. was flying planes, the Soviets were hiding bugs in gifts from children. The thing changed everything. The British developed their own version, codenamed Satyr. The CIA spent millions on a follow-up project called Easy Chair. But more importantly, Leon Theremin's thing was the ancestor of technology we use every single day. If you've ever used an RFID chip, a tap-to-pay credit card, or a keyless entry fob for your car, you're using the direct descendant of a Soviet spy bug from 1945. The thing proved that sometimes the most dangerous weapon in the room isn't a gun. It's a piece of wood and a very, very thin piece of metal. If you found this dive into spy history interesting, hit the like button. We've got more stories on Cold War tech coming up. Would you have spotted the bug in the Eagle? Let us know in the comments.